Kano. My name is Professor Ian Rouse. I'm the President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Puthisastra.
I'm Francis Square. I'm actually from Aventis Graduate School Singapore, and I'm the Director of Office of Global Partnership.
I am Luis Holt, and I am the person in charge of the masterclass.
From my point of view, artificial intelligence is impacting every career throughout the world. So at the university, whether you're studying to be a doctor or a dentist, a pharmacist, a nurse, or an IT professional, you are going to have to learn using AI, and you're going to have to learn how to apply it ethically when you graduate and you go and work in the community. As a university, any university, we should have a responsibility now to teach our students, to teach them about artificial intelligence, and to teach them how to consider it ethically and how to use it properly. And that's why at this masterclass, we have 25 senior staff from the University of Puthisastra who have joined us for 3 full days to learn about the opportunities and challenges with artificial intelligence and how we can actually develop our policies and our procedures so that as a university we can be seen as a university which has the appropriate focus on artificial intelligence for the future.
On my part, as the Director of Office of Global Partnership, I've traveled many countries and I engaged with government leaders, university leaders, as well as multinational leaders, and I immerse myself into the population in terms of their basic needs and everything. And what is very important is that I realized Cambodia, in terms of the government, they have initiated a very clear pioneering strategy to build the whole country based on the Pentagon strategy. And that strategy is very important in terms of the pillar number one is human capital development. And the number 3 is actually about progressing into employment and middle, small enterprise and so forth. And the last one that is more strategic is about enhancing and building digital economy. And one of the key words that ignite my interest is really about AI in higher education and in public administration. Now Aventis is very strong. We have a 20 years of experience in executive and professional education, and I realized that we also have an international pool of very good trainer, faculties and so forth, and I want to make sure we can contribute to this strategy by assisting and bringing internationalization and executing very strongly into the space of AI in higher education. Now the challenge for me is, how about the other half, right? And the other half is important as a partner. And in fact, the last 10 months, I spent time trying to understand the university here. I met with university leaders and I tried to assess which university would be able to combine together to execute strongly with AI into the higher education sector and into the employability of the people in the country. And it's not easy to find, but I was lucky having a various discussion that lasts from initially via Zoom 1.5 hours to flying in directly to meet with Professor Rose, and it's 3 hours engagement. And I realized this is the university. I found a right university during our discussion because I was shown the faculties, engaging the leaders and the facilities, and I was so excited. The reason because this is one university with a leadership that is forward-looking, with academic and research agility, and also more important is producing practical, future-ready education and bringing forth the contribution of the right manpower for the Cambodian country, government and people in years to come.
Yes, well, informational system have been developing the last 20 years very strongly, and artificial intelligence just started to develop properly the last 3 years. Why now? Well, you can see 3 years is just, we are just beginning to think about this, and this is the right time to enter into this. And I think it's important the way that the university is trying to enter into this, because it is trying to make a work on the fundamentals, which I think is the important part, because artificial intelligence is not just buying equipment and buying software. No, that's incorrect, because there are many risks involved there here, and there are many opportunities that we take as an institution. So the appropriate way to approach artificial intelligence is to create from the foundations. And I think like creating an strategy, an AI strategy like the university is trying to do is a very clever way to approach this new technology on the one hand, and then try to work in governance. I think is really important, an important step, because then that creates the environment, a safe environment to control the risks that are associated, while at the same time taking the advantages that you can create, while transforming the university, because AI is an institutional capability that we have been emphasizing here. So working together, I think is a great way to approach this. And I think the effort that is being made by all these institutions working together, like the university, Aventis School, is a great opportunity to work together, to learn together, and to develop properly the tools that can be implemented in a very safe environment for the university, where students can gain a lot, especially, but also the faculty members, researchers, the administration people can really obtain a lot of gain from this, and finally society as a whole. I think Cambodia can be positively affected by this effort that the university is trying to make, and I think this is the right time to enter properly and try to organize these ideas and bringing them together into this project. Well, what is important? That's a very important question. Institutions are made by people. People make the institutions. Institutions is the result of human organizations. So technology, AI, is just one tool, one means to create new outcomes, but at the end, this is working for the human beings. So the human beings that are in this case related is the institution itself, the University of Puthisastra, that I think this is the relevant part. What remains at the end is exactly that, people who are willing to offer something, to come together, to develop an idea, and use the technology just to get it done. So this is what we are concerned about. So students are there, faculties are there, a lot of administrators, researchers, and society as a whole here in Cambodia is represented in the university. So what remains at the end is exactly that. It is people who are willing to do. It is exactly the human being that is there, and it is the human being who has the control on this, who has to create this institution and regulate it properly, so that all the risks that are associated must be taken into account, and so we can obtain gains that are safely in that sense, and so everybody can benefit. That's what I would say. I think that what remains at the end of the day is exactly that. People will never be able to be erased for this process, even though there are many stories that you hear about this. But at the end, this is, as human beings, we have gone through this many times. We have been evolving through history, so there are many technological changes that have happened, and this is one of them. And we are there. We will remain, and this is the important part, because at the end, this is for us. This is the well-being that is created. Okay.
And I just want to extend from there about people, about human being, about human capital. I think what is really important is to build a positive mindset. And that is fundamental, because with a positive mindset, you feel that whatever disruption and so forth, right? You treat it positively, you go towards some direction where it will help you, not bring you down, not being negative, and then you're forever at the ground level. The second point about buy really is about buying relevance. The core area is relevance. The world is so dynamic and ever changing, right? And in fact, 15 years ago, I already pioneered that concept in my organization when I was CEO about relevance. The moment you stay irrelevant, you are actually out of place, out of the office, or out of the market, because we create value and against the environment by building relevance and making a very strong comparative and competitive advantage. And the third area that I want to emphasize is what not to buy. Fear. Once you have that fear, you're bringing down and you lose hope. And hope and direction becomes very important, whether is it human being, people, organization, or country. So I want to emphasize that fear. Do not fear, because fear will bring you nowhere. What is important is how to build towards something where you know it will help you. It will propel you beyond where you are, and you can sustain throughout via lifelong life experiences, lifelong learning, and so forth. Many people fear about AI. For me, right, I like to embrace and say thank you, AI. You're giving me an opportunity, a real opportunity to move ahead and make it effective for me, efficient for me, and I have a better work-life balance. So this masterclass, I noticed is that the group are slowly bringing themselves up to realize how AI is a very important frontier technology, important tools. Let's leverage it and have synergy to create a direction that works for the good of the whole university with the right vision by Professor Rose, as well as for the good of the country.
My thoughts are probably very similar to what Professor Louis has already discussed. I mean, one of the things we've understood just in the last 2.5 days of the masterclass is how rapidly technology is moving, very fast, much faster, I guess, than in the last few years than it might have been in the previous 2 decades. So you can't just rely on technology. From my point of view, the thing that is most valuable at the University of Puthisastra is people. I've said that many times. In the time I've been here, the staff are creative, innovative, forward-thinking. They want to move. They want to provide the best education they can for the students. And the students that we have at University of Puthisastra are just outstanding. They want to learn. They want to learn how to be the best professionals they can. They want to learn how to be ethical, because they want to then go into the community in Cambodia and provide the best service that they can. I guess some people might have come to the masterclass, Prof. Louis, thinking we're going to learn about technology. This is not about technology. This masterclass is really about leadership. And from my point of view, having the senior staff here so that they can understand what are the developments in artificial intelligence, what are some of the challenges and risks in artificial intelligence, and can then think about, well, how can we create a University of Puthisastra, which understands that, and where we can transform into maybe one of the leading Cambodian universities, which embeds artificial intelligence into the university in many different ways, but in a professional and ethical way. I think that's something you will not be able to buy.
The university already has values established and the mission, no, as an institution. So artificial intelligence must enter into the university through that way, because it's trying to support that mission, that values. There must be an AI approach to this from the strategical point of view. And the universities encompasses at least 4 pillars, I would say. One of them is like learning and teaching, which is very important. Second one has to do with the administration role of the university, which is very, very important, people have. And the third one has to do with research. There is a lot of research. The university is playing a very important role in Cambodia in that sense. And the last one has to do with the relationship to society. So these four are the 4 pillars that I would say are the most important part of the university. I mean, so artificial intelligence entering there. It's not adding a new pillar or something like this. No, it's just taking the university as such and transform it and trying to expand, enhance all these 4 pillars. So the idea of bringing together, for instance, a strategical approach, and then trying to complement this now from an applied point of view with a set of rules, a constitution, something even more important that we can call it as a governance. So this creates the environment, the safe environment for the university to operate in these 4 pillars across the whole university and across Cambodia. So I would say that from the strategic point of view, what the University of Puthisastra is doing is the right thing in focusing into creating an AI strategy built on their 4 pillars, and then try to create an environment that is safe, that we might call it governance. Okay, so, and all of this, in agreement with the vision of the university as such.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been traveling quite a fair bit, and I'm engaging many countries, and whether they are forward progressive countries or on the lower income growth area and so forth. One common area that I observe is some of the universities, while they are good, but their overall approach to it might need to relook, because they treat it as an add-on for AI. And this is while there's effort, but it is a dangerous direction and trend, because it should not be looking at just add-on. It should be a real strategic transformation overall for the whole institution, universities, or government. The word is transformation, so that you can leverage and get the full benefit of AI progressing down the next 5 to 10 years. The second area I notice is that some of them might have certain strategy in AI, but it go haywire. AI is a very dangerous, if I may allow to say, animal. It can run in any direction if it is not controlled, and it can present danger. And this is where some of them neglect to look more seriously at the risk and the governance, because what we are dealing with are not physical products. We are dealing with humans, and more dangerous is we're dealing with students who need to acquire the right perspective, the right approach, and so forth. And if AI is not done properly and it drill into certain risks and so forth, I think it will be dangerous for any institution, any country, or globally. So let's also focus on governance and risk to manage the whole transformation and benefit from AI.
Just to follow on from Professor Louis and from Francis, it's been a fascinating 3 days of the masterclass, and there's a lot of information that's been provided, a vast amount of information that Professor Louis is going to share with us, so we can help develop our strategies and our policies. But one thing that stood out, and even when we've looked at what other universities around the world are doing, is the 4 pillars. We've been struck with these four pillars about learning and assessment, research and innovation, community services and support, and also administration and governance. These are all relevant to the University of Puthisastra. If I was to say relatively simply, what do we want to do as a university? We want to adopt artificial intelligence that makes our university more efficient, perhaps one of the best run here in Cambodia. Certainly in terms of the first pillar, which deals with learning and assessment, we think we need to provide our students with good tools, will help them learn better in a professional and ethical way, so that when they graduate and go into the community, they can understand. Maybe it'll help them in their lifelong journey of learning. In terms of research and innovation, University of Puthisastra is one of the top research universities in Cambodia. But we believe that AI can help us do even more. In particular, we believe it can help us make sure we focus our research on projects which are relevant to improving the health of all Cambodians. We look forward to seeing more of that. There's no question in terms of the third pillar that AI can help improve administration and governance. A lot of processes at many universities are time-consuming, maybe even boring, Professor Louis, and they take a lot of time. And if we can use AI to improve the processes, reduce the amount of boring time, it frees up staff time to do more exciting and innovative things, which will benefit the university. And then the fourth one, in terms of community service, the University of Puthisastra distinguishes itself already in Cambodia for the amount of service we provide to the community. Staff and students go into all provinces in Cambodia to provide services. There's no question that artificial intelligence can help us do better things, develop apps, for example, which can help improve the health of people in these remote places. So all of the 4 pillars that we're learning about in this masterclass are relevant to every university. I can certainly see as president how we can build them into a much better University of Puthisastra. That's what we're all looking forward to, and I'm hoping that the 25 staff that have joined us for this masterclass can now start to see the opportunities that artificial intelligence brings to a university. They shouldn't be scared about it, because we can do things professionally and ethically if we plan properly, develop our strategies and have the appropriate governance.